Hello, wonderful people. All right, today I feel inspired to make a video about please be kind to yourself. Now, this is basically the basis of the channel, right? I have joined Jesus on his holy crusade to heal this mind virus, right? This mind virus that was inside of me, right? And I think inside of many of us, right? It could be survivors of CPTSD, of emotional neglect, or bullying, whatever. But I feel very compelled because for, like I said, many years, I had this suffering mindset, victim mindset. I had a very, very harsh inner critic, inner voice that really robbed me of my joy. Um, and yeah, it sucked. What am I gonna say? Um, but through the work of the Course in Miracles, I really feel like I'm in a place now to speak about it on my healing journey. And I want to talk about how important it is to be kind to yourself because I know we say it, but do we actually do it? Do we actually do it? Do we do the work? Right? So this is around lesson 226. Right? My home awaits me. I will hasten there. Father, my home awaits my glad return. Your arms are open, and I hear your voice. What need have I to linger in a place of vain desires and of shattered dreams when heaven can so easily be mine? Right? So, um, what the Course, I think, is teaching us is like nothing outside is going to fulfill us. And I think we've lived enough life experience to see it. I mean, sure, I'm not knocking on your goals. Um, because I like having goals as well, but I used to have the special relationship with them. Like I would put these goals on a pedestal above my inner peace, and all we have is now. All we have is this now moment, and we're taught in society to give up our peace to achieve some end. And I think that's upside down and backwards, right? Because all we have is now. So you're giving the only thing you have, your present moment, to something in the future. Right. I know there's still this mentality of strife and struggle and all this. I've done it. Um, but I'm saying about choosing again that we could find a way that we're kind and loving to ourselves and still, of course, be productive and do what you want to do, but without having this angry, harsh voice. Because our home is in the house of God, in this inner peace, right? In this joy for life, this divine love that's inside of all of us, right? And it's all connected, man. I just watched this morning about this. It's like wellness and wisdom podcast, and the guy talked about how your fitness journey is your spiritual journey. I'm like, wow, exactly what I've been living through. Like I told you guys that when I tried losing weight in form, I did, and I gained it all back because I didn't do the spiritual work, the inner work, seeing all this like limiting, negative, harsh voice I had about myself. And as soon as I started doing the workbook lessons very intensely, what happened? I lost weight. I hit my goal weight effortlessly. I'm like, okay, so there is a tangible effect to loving yourself. There is, right? Because when we love ourselves, we naturally take better care of ourselves, right? Also, I was guided to do two lessons today, so I'm gonna the lesson right after that, or it's 228. God has condemned me not, no more do I. Father, I was mistaken in myself because I failed to realize the source from which I came. I have not left that source to enter in a body and to die. My holiness remains a part of me as I am a part of you, and my mistakes about myself are dreams. I let them go today, and I stand ready to receive your word alone for what I really am. You see this one, and my mistakes about myself are dreams. How many mistakes do we hold against ourselves? We rake ourselves over the coals. Like for me, mine was, finances, or a few years ago, school, like not finishing when everyone else was finishing university, struggling with French, all this stuff that like the mental anguish I had, right? But in the divine perspective, that stuff doesn't matter, man. I mean, it matters as like Holy Spirit wants you to be healed of it. He wants you to have peace about it. But like really, like think about all these bullshit excuses we use to throw ourselves off our own team and to berate ourselves. For what, man? For what? Okay. You can, what I was guided to say is like, you can still choose to hurt yourself or to love yourself, right? This is the thing I'm going to talk about later. On this healing journey, I think I had this fantasy that like one day I'm going to just be 100% healed, not going to feel pain anymore. I don't know, maybe David Hoffmeister feels that way, like a master teacher of the course. But um, I think we still have this, we're always going to have free will, right? And so we're always going to have the choice to hurt ourselves or to love ourselves. And I'll tell you guys a story that happened really recently. So my brother Zatkil is really like deep into crystals. He bought a bunch of crystals, and we have this. I think it's called a rose quartz. I don't know. It's this gigantic crystal. It's like a kind of like a torpedo. And I was holding it. I put it in my heart. I like the idea of crystals as well. Not as much as him, but it slipped out of my hands and it torpedoed and it hit my VR treadmill, making kind of like a small indent. And my nervous system reacted like, oh shit, oh God, what have I done? I probably ruined the VR treadmill. Oh my God. And then I was able to catch myself because I know this was an emotional flashback. Because whenever I would do something small like that, I would be yelled at, berated, right? So my nervous system went back to, being a kid. But I was able to take a step back and be like, right, take a deep breath, go back to center. Nothing happened. Okay, let's actually put a positive spin. What is this? And it's like maybe this is showing you can record VR footage. I'm like, oh wait, yeah, I do want to continue making VR footage, and you'll see probably in this video imperfect footage of Fallout London again. I'm going to learn it, but and it was great. I spent like 45 minutes on the VR treadmill. There's still things I need to like make it better to presentable and everything, but it was great. I'm like, I'm using the VR treadmill again. As you see in the previous videos, I've been playing more Halo, but I also want to incorporate the VR treadmill because I like it, and it's extra calories to burn anyway. So um, yeah, and I was like, okay, that's a positive spin, and I let it, what could have been a negative experience, right? This emotional flashback, like, oh, I ruined my VR treadmill, but nothing happened. It works fine. But I know if you're anything like me, you might have experienced an emotional flashback like that. Okay. And I wrote here, love yourself like you're taking care of a car. This is from the wellness podcast. I'm not really a car guy per se, but I know maybe people are. Like, in the example he talked about, like if you love your car, you're gonna take care of it, you're gonna clean it, you're gonna add some details to it. What has been more expanding for me was why I mentioned this, like a RPG character, right? You want the best RPG character. You want the best equipment. You want to make sure he's ready. You want him to have lots of gold. You want him to go on all these side quests. Get romance options, whatever. You want him to looking the best. But not even like RPG characters. I was thinking about also Sam and Death Stranding. If you're not, in the game, you could make sure he rests often. He also takes a shower. You make sure he's like well equipped. I feel like kind of like a parent. It's like that's how you want to take care of yourself, man. Because remember, you are a miracle, right? Holy Spirit sees your innocence, right? The Holy Spirit sees your innocence. This is something I really had to learn because I was always condemning myself, making myself feel guilty. But the Holy Spirit will never make you feel guilty because all He sees is an innocent child of God, no matter what you've done, no matter what you have done, right? Like I said, I still catch myself. I still catch myself condemning myself, attacking myself or others. But I go back and like, Holy Spirit sees myself and my brothers as innocent. Very good. All right. Letting go of attack thoughts towards yourself and others. Yes, yes, exactly what I was talking about. Because what the course teaches us, to find this peace, we have to stop attacking we have to stop attacking, right? Our attack thoughts against, mainly my attack thoughts were towards myself, but with survivors of CPTSD, we also have like an outer critic, and we go like, oh, this person, no, 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 no. Um, but for me, mostly it was attack thoughts against myself, and I think we justify it, like I've mentioned in the past, like we whipping ourselves into shape, right? But if you whip yourself into shape, that is confirming you have a contemptuous relationship with yourself. You have a slave and master relationship with yourself. Does that sound what the Holy Spirit wants for us? Does that sound like the sanctuary of God inside your mind? I don't think so. I don't think so. And we have to be very, very mindful of that, right? Because I think a society might even like say, it's okay, yeah, yeah, whip yourself. You gotta put your nose to the grindstone. I'm like, for what, man? Come on, this is your life. This is your inner peace we're talking about, man. Okay. Oh yes, even attacking others with the outer critic, right? Um, I know I talk about my parents, but I'm not trying to attack them, even if it sounds like it. It's just more about understanding what happened to me. Um, Also, we don't know the full story about other people when we attack them. Like you might hear this story where if this guy is on the subway, he's letting his kids run around, they're making like a big ruckus, and this guy is like judging this guy. He's like, how can he let his kids just run around amok? And then he's like, he goes up to the guy, he's like, why are you letting your kids in the subway like run around? He's like, oh, I'm sorry, like my wife just died and I don't know what to do. It just changes the perception like 110%. We really we don't know what someone else is going through. Everyone is going through something, man. Everyone is going through something. I think about myself. When I was at this party and for one of my vegan friends, and something came up, and one girl was like made fun of me that I'm American. Well, she didn't make fun of me. She just said like, "Oh, you're American," and that triggered me, right? Because I had this deep insecurity about my identity, and I tried bringing it up, and it's like, well, why does it matter? And you know, like I bet she thought I was being crazy. I was going through something with I was having a full blown, still dealing with my identity. I thought I dealt with it, but I didn't. Right? Everyone is going through something, man. Okay. Um, Also about attacking others. What I wrote here. My mama told me don't be a doormat. Wonder how that's related. Well, I'll tell you anyway. Okay. Oh yes, about having self advocacy for yourself. Yes, about when you have this slave relationship to yourself, and you have this lower nature to yourself. You will become a doormat, right? People pleaser. That's at least that's what happened to me. I don't know if you guys can relate, right? When I with my ex toxic best friend Tio, I like I said, I was a passenger with my relationship as like with friends, man. Like if he wanted to do something, he'd do stuff. It's like if I wanted to, I was like, no, I don't want to do it. Like I'd always go with his plans. Also, he'd verbal put downs, dork monkey, insulting my intelligence, all this, and I have you know the vision I have now. I'm like, oh wow, like I tolerated it because I heard that shit at my house. I just thought it was normal, man, to be put down all the time. And Mama said like, don't do this, but the course teaches us that's the opposite. We just say do this, right? It's easier to say do this. What I'm saying is having this fierce self advocacy for yourself. Because if you truly love yourself, of course you're gonna have self advocacy for yourself. Of course you are, because you're worth it. You're worth it. You're worth spending the time with people that love you, that nourish you. Like anyone that's putting you down, like it's not worth your time, man. And I wish, like I said, I wish I knew this stuff. I wish I knew this stuff. I wish someone came up to me and be like, hey, this Tio guy, he's not really good for you. I think he's putting you down. He's a very mean individual. I don't think he's the best for you, right? I wish, but luckily I did actually walk away from that relationship when like my freshman year. But he was gonna move anyway. But so I thank the Holy Spirit for getting him out of that my experience. All right. Um, also, where does this unkind voice come from? And I've mentioned in the past videos, and it's been a really hard revelation for me, but you know, I have to call a spade a spade. Right? The inner voice comes from our parents. Right? I mean, I guess like also bullies as well. I mean, I was like I mentioned, I was bullied, but no, I believe mostly it came from my parents, from emotional neglect and all this constant yelling. Um, I'll share you guys some stories. Um, I think I already talked about maybe some of them, but this one, I was in middle school, and I forgot my gym uniform, or no, I gave Mama my gym uniform to clean it, and I was like, Mama, where's my gym uniform? And she's like, Oh, I don't know, and I needed it. I was like, but I gave it to you. I said it in like this, kind of annoying voice, but I think maybe 13, 14 at the time, and she was cooking something on the kitchen, and she fucking slammed the pan down and went up to right in my face and started screaming in Polish like I don't remember what she said. I just remember the emotions, right? And then when I came to school, I just kind of laughed like, haha, mama yelled at me. I'm like, whoa, that's traumatizing. And whatever you're going through, like the thing about emotional neglect, I still want to diminish it. And when I talk to my brother, he also wants it. Like, what happened? Like, no, we weren't beat or anything. It's become like it affected my consciousness. What am I gonna say? Did I have to deal with a tyrannical voice? I did, man. I did. I'm just reflecting what happened to me. Is that the way you want to be treated? Right? Is that how we treat children of God? Running up to their face and yelling at them. Um, I froze. Right, that was my response, freeze response. Um, and this is stuff I remember. Even I would say relatively recently, because I want to share this story because like because I was like, are they really emotionally immature? And then this is gonna solidify it. So we had to like our parents wanted us to renew our American driver's license for whatever reason. Like we don't really, we don't drive here in Poland, but whatever. And my brother, found that we don't need to bring papers. You can just do everything electronically. And so he's like, "Oh, I'll do it electronically." And we're going to go to the DMV. And Mama's like, "Oh, do you have the papers?" And like Zadkie was like, "No, no, we can do it electronically." And she blew up. She's like, "Jesteście tacy dzieci!" Like women, like, "You are so childish." Full, full voice, like yelling at us. And guess what? We didn't need the fucking papers. We didn't need it. And the car right there was like also like beratement, being locked in a car. And you know what? She didn't even say, "Oh, I'm sorry." She's just like, "I'm a woman. I'm a woman. I get emotional." Uh, like this is the shit. Like a grown ass woman, and I am already an adult. And she was, wrong, man. Like think about what I had to deal with as a kid, right? Because they haven't changed as far as I know. As a child, I had to like 7, 8, 9. Those like very formidable years. I had to like stuff like that, man. Does that not affect the consciousness of the child? Tell me, come on. It did, all right. And I have to not to villainize. I think this is also part of my healing journey. Um, yeah, because like I didn't even know emotional neglect was a thing until recently. I didn't know what it was like having emotionally immature parents. I had no idea that was a thing, until I was looking deep inside myself. I was like, where is this tyrannical inner voice coming from? And like ask yourself that. Where do you think it can? Where's the source? Where did it come from? You know, that's where the healing lies. Okay. Um, So, as you could probably tell, I developed a very deep mother wound. That's also another thing I didn't know. Like you have father wounds, mother wounds, and we try to feed that wound somewhat. Like for my way, um, this pain. Like I said, I would like overeat, go on dopamine binges. Like this is soothing this unprocessed trauma. And so, and also this deep mother wound, because our mother wound like is connected to the divine feminine, like our love to ourselves and to others, right? And so I had very deep trouble to love myself and to others. I I found it easier, to love other people. Sometimes no, but for myself, oh my gosh, the slightest mistake, rake myself over the coals, berate myself, and I found, yeah, it's this mother wound, right? The person that was supposed to give you unconditional love and acceptance gave me vitriol. You know, not okay, not all the time. This is the thing. I like, yes, there were moments of love, but I'm just saying. I'm just saying what happened to me and understanding myself. Okay, and it made me seek love outside of myself. This is where you think like, oh, men are weak. What's happened to the weak men? Because we have this weak soul. Our soul is unnourished. Our soul thinks, well, not our soul, but our mind, our ego mind thinks we're pieces of shit. No, that we have to conform. We have to people please. Right? You have to be hyper vigilant to what other people are feeling. So I'm going to mask. I'm going to conform to make other people happy. But my own happiness, no, no, no. My own happiness doesn't matter. I need to make other people happy. No, man, stop it. Give it up. You are worth so much more than that bullshit, man. And part of this healing journey is about remothering yourself. I talked about reparenting, but this has been very key aspect for me. Like actually saying the stuff I wish that was spoken to me, like, my beautiful boy, my amazing son, I believe in you. You can do anything. You are amazing. I love you no matter what. I love you no matter what. You're going to be fine. I love you. Do you feel that? Do you feel the difference between the yes, the shit that's huge difference, huge difference. And like I said, I'm not trying to trauma dump here, although I do feel like I need to let it out. And I just want, this is my stuff to kind of normalize this conversation, right? Because if it's quiet and we don't talk about it, how can we heal it, right? How many of my brothers and sisters had to deal with this deep, deep emotional neglect, and we started neglecting ourselves, man. This is what I call the mind virus, right? This lack of love we have towards ourselves and how it manifests in other ways, man. Right? Because you deserve divine love. Divine love, like I said, these thoughts of God, right? You are amazing. I love you. You deserve it, man. You deserve to tell yourself these things. You deserve it. I know there might be resistance, but you deserve it. It takes the smallest willingness. If you can even say like, I'm okay. I'm okay. I deserve to feel at least okay. Whatever you need right now, right? Whatever step you need to take. Also, celebrate the small wins, right? For me, I had so much difficulty like just celebrating the small wins, and then I would just kind of give up because I feel like everything is meaningless, like nothing matters, right? No matter how hard I try, I'll never get anywhere. That fucking sucks, man. That sucks. And it's not true. It's not true. Why do you think games like, even if you defeat like a small enemy, you always get something. You get some XP because what you reward grows, right? So reward the small wins. That has been really game changing for me, right? Because this harsh voice, it doesn't want to recognize anything, right? It doesn't want to recognize anything they've done. But we have to retrain the mind and say yes, yes, yes to the small wins. Like I said, when I went outside my comfort zone, I started doing animal rights activism. It was like really, I didn't even talk to anyone. I just like held the TV. But when I came on the way home, I bought myself this Super Mario cup as like a trophy because I'm like, yeah, you went outside your comfort zone. You're amazing, and that builds so much self-confidence, man. It's showing that you love yourself. You love yourself enough to, buy yourself a small trinket, like whatever it inspires you. But you deserve it, man. All right. Also, I just want to say temper your expectations. Because what I've seen now, because I would say like, oh, I would judge myself that, oh, I'm not fully healed. I'm 25, I'm 27. I still harbor these resentments. I'm not as open, or that's actually super detrimental, man. You're on your own divine timeline. You're on your own divine timeline, right? And it's just like going to the gym. You're not going to see results right away. We think it's, it's so simple of the mind just because it's our imagination or whatever. Like, come on, this stuff takes time. It takes time. So be gentle, be patient with yourself. Infinite patience, man. It'll take as long as it takes, as long as it takes. But if you're consistent and you take constant action, you will change. You will change your mind, right? This is what the Course teaches: right-mindedness, right-mindedness, right? Getting back to right-mindedness, having the thought system in alignment to the Holy Spirit. It'll take time because we've been trained since children to believe in the ego, this external world, this upside down and backwards world that causes pain and suffering. That's okay, right? We can retrain our mind. It's still possible, guys. If I can do it, you can do it, right? And you're still here, and that's okay, right? Remember, you're still here. There's air in your lungs. There's still the possibilities. Like, please, never give up. Never. I know it's a platitude. Never give up. But it's true though, because what happens when you give up? I've had moments where I just like kind of gave up on my healing journey, on my body, and I was miserable because I knew I wasn't unlocking my full potential. Right? The Holy Spirit doesn't want us to give up. It knows our infinite potential and our infinite worth, man. It takes the smallest willingness. Like I said, take Kaizen, 5 minutes, whatever. This stuff works, man. It's worked for me. It can work for you. I'm not trying to give advice. You have an amazing guidance system. Whatever you feel guided, inspired to do, just follow it. All right? Or not. It's your choice. All right. Remember, you heal yourself with the Holy Spirit. Like I said in previous videos, like you heal yourself. Well, it basically means like you have your willingness to say, Holy Spirit, I'm done with this mind virus. It doesn't serve me anymore. Please show me how to let it go. And the Holy Spirit showed me how to let it go. It gave me this, Course in Miracles, all this wonderful teachings. It guided me to the book, Emotionally Mature Parents, finding out I have CPTSD, finding out I was abandoning myself, right? I didn't come up with that. Right? Who orchestrated it? Who orchestrated it? Right? The Holy Spirit did. Right? You got to trust in your plan. All right, I hope you guys found that video helpful. All right, may the Holy Spirit light up your path wherever it takes you. All right, take care.